Yashwant could not connect today, so maybe next time he could read the translation. So we will now switch to verse for the day. Today we are discussing the last verse of the 4th chapter. Tomorrow will be the summary of the whole chapter. So we will just do 33 today. It's a small purport. And I will recite the verse once again. And we'll read the translation proper. And we'll have some discussion. Om Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sorry, I'm getting confused. Okay, I'll read the verse. Tam Ambijnaya Sahasa Pratyuttaya Gatam Muni Puryamasa Videvam Naradam Sura Pujitam. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. At the auspicious arrival of Sri Narada, Sri Vyasadeva got up respectfully and worshipped him, giving him veneration equal to that given to Brahmaji, the creator. Purport. Vidhi means Brahma, the first created living being. He is the original student as well as professor of the Vedas. He learned it from Sri Krishna and taught Narada first. So Narada is the second Acharya in the line of spiritual disciplic succession. He is the representative of Brahma and therefore is respected exactly like Brahma, the father of all Vidhis regulations. Similarly, all other successful disciples in the chain are also equally respected as representatives of the original spiritual master. Harekrshn. Sorry, I was meant to recite the Bhagavatam prayers and I'm just constantly reciting the Mangalacharan prayers. The reason was, I was just meditating whether we can recite the full Mangalacharan today because the topic is very relevant. And it talks about a disciplic succession. So normally we chant a subset of the full Mangalacharan. I will put it on the screen. So I will recite the Sanskrit and maybe someone can read the English translation if that's okay. Maybe Sriji Kisori Mataji is still there or anyone else would like to read. That's also fine. Anyone. I just put on the screen. Okay, so I will read the Sanskrit if that's okay. And who can read the English? Any volunteers?
Yes,
Sriji?
Prabhuji.
Yeah, you will read the English?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Please read the English. We'll go word by word. Sriji Mataji is there?
Yes, I'm here, Prabhuji. Where shall I start from?
You can start from the, you can see, if you can see the screen, I offer my respectful
Okay, thank you. I offer my respectful obeisances unto my spiritual master, who has opened my eyes, which we were blinded by the darkness of ignorance, with the torchlight of knowledge.
Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Vayam Rupa Kada Mayam Dadati Swapadantikam.
When will Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhupada, who has established within this material world the mission to fulfill the desire of Lord Chaitanya, give me shelter under his lotus feet?
Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Guru Vaisnavamcha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Advaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitam Cha.
I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of my spiritual master and of all the other preceptors on the path of devotional service. I offer my respectful obeisances unto all the Vaishnavas and unto the 6 Goswamis, including Srila Rupa Goswami, Srila Sanatana Goswami, Raghunatha Dasa Goswami, Jiva Goswami, and their associates. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Advaita Acharya Prabhu, Sri Nityananda Prabhu, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and all his devotees headed by Sri Vasa Thakura. I then offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, Srimati Radharani, and all the gopis headed by Lalita and Vishakha.
Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine.
I offer my respectful obeisances unto His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who is very dear to Lord Krishna, having taken shelter of his lotus feet.
Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesa Sunyavadi Paschata Deshakarine.
Our respectful obeisances are unto you, O spiritual, kindly, preaching the message of Lord Chaitanya Deva and delivering the Western countries which are filled with impersonalism and voidism.
Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Dinamine.
I offer my respectful obeisances unto His Divine Grace, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, who is very dear to Lord Krishna, having taken shelter at his lotus feet.
Shri Varshabhanavi Devi Daita Kripa Badhe Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Daine Prabhave Namaha.
I offer my respectful obeisances to Sri Varsha Bhanavi Devi Daita Dasa, another name of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, who is favored by Srimati Radharani and who is the ocean of transcendental mercy and the deliverer of the signs of Krishna.
Madhuryojval Premade Shri Rupa Nuga Bhaktida Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namastute.
I offer my respectful obeisances unto you, the personified energy of Sri Chaitanya's mercy, who deliver devotional service which is enriched with conjugal love of Radha and Krishna, coming exactly in the line of revelation of Srila Rupa Goswami.
Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Deen Tarine Rupanuga Vriddha Pasadhanta Dvantarine.
I offer my respectful obeisances unto you, who are the personified teachings of Lord Chaitanya. You are the deliverer of the fallen souls. You do not tolerate any statement which is against the teachings of devotional service enunciated by Srila Rupa Goswami.
Namo Gaur Kishoraya Sakshat Vairagya Murtaye Vipralambar Sambodhe Padambojayate Namaha.
I offer my respectful obeisances unto Gaura Kisora Dasa Babaji Maharaja, the spiritual master of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, who is renunciation personified. He is always merged in a feeling of separation and intense love of Krishna.
Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Satchidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Varayate.
I offer my respectful obeisances unto Sachidananda Bhakti Vinoda, who is transcendental energy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is a strict follower of the Goswamis, headed by Srila Rupa.
Gauravirbhava Bhumestvam Nirdishta Sajjana Priya Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Sri Jagannathaya Te Namaha.
I offer my respectful obeisances to Jagannatha Dasa Babaji, who is respected by the entire Vaishnava community and who discovered the place where Lord Chaitanya appeared.
Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
I offer my respectful obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. They are just like desire trees who can fulfill the desires of everyone, and they are full of compassion for the fallen conditioned souls.
Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gaura Atishe Namaha.
O most munificent incarnation, you are Krishna himself, appearing as Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You have assumed the golden color of Srimati Radharani, and you are widely distributing pure love of Krishna. We offer our respectful obeisances unto you.
Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate. Come on, there's no translation. Sambandha Adidya Pranam. We'll read this. Jayatam Sutho Pangur Mamamanda Matirgati Matsarvasva Padam Bhoja Radha Madan Mohana.
Glory to the all-merciful Radha and Madana Mohana. I am lame and ill-advised, yet they are my directors, and their lotus feet are everything to me.
Divya Bindaranya Kalpadrumada Srimad Ratnagar Simhasan Sao Srimad Radha Shila Govinda Deva Vishtali Vihi Shrebimano Smarami.
In a temple of jewels in Vrindavana, underneath a desire tree, Sri Sri Radha Govinda, served by their most confidential associates, sit upon an effulgent throne. I offer my most humble obeisances unto them.
Shriman Rasarasarambi Vamshi Vadatasita Karsanavenu Smanar Gopi Gopinatha Shriyastunam.
Sri Srila Gopinatha, who originated the transcendental mellow of the rasa dance, stands on the shore in Vyamsivata and attracts the attention of the cowherd damsels with the sound of his celebrated flute. May they all confer upon us their benediction.
Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare
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 Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama Hare Rama Rama
Rama
Rama.
Rama, Hare Hare.
Thank you so much, Sriji Mataji.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much for everyone being attentive to this Mangalacharan prayers. So I thought it's a good idea to remind ourselves of the meaning that we every time chant, and also to remember the full parampara in this purport here. Prabhupada has mentioned about all the successive disciples in the chain are equally respected as representatives of the original spiritual master. So within ISKCON, our ISKCON, we have this is the Guru Parampara we follow. This is it is nice to remember all the Guru Parampara and how we have to offer respect to the whole Guru Parampara, and we remember and we pray for their mercy every single day. And only by their mercy, things can happen, or the spiritual mercy can flow to us. And there's also the mention of the three uh, prime deities that we worship. The Sambandha, which is Radha Madan Mohan, and then Abhidev deity, which are Radha Govinda, and Radha Gopinath, is the Prayojan deities. So we pray to all of them so that we get the strength. And that's what is hinted here as Srila Vyasadeva was despondent. He was thinking he has done everything that was required. He's divided the Shastras, he has handed the Shastras to the disciples and the disciples of the disciples. He's followed the whole disciplic succession. He's created that in a way, and he's created for Mahabharata for people like us, for the Kali Yuga um, mentalities, and everything he thought he has done, but his heart was not satisfied because he had not written something or compiled something which will specifically give pleasure to the devotees of the Lord and the Lord Himself. Now that he was, in that sense, a little morose at that time, his spiritual master, Srila Narad Muni, appears. This is the power of the Guru Parampara, and by the mercy of the Lord, we get the Guru, and by the mercy of the Guru, we get the Lord. It works like that. So, with first we have the Chaitya Guru within our heart, so Paramatma Krishna Himself, and He's listening to our prayers. That is, Vyasadeva, Srila Vyasadeva was contemplating like that to what has gone wrong. So, within his heart, Krishna Himself then inspires his spiritual master, Narad Muni, to also appear and clarify doubt, because two things, because the intention was very clear, was full of compassion for the living entities in general, and his prayers were strong. And this is obviously there. Vyasadeva is himself incarnation. Narad Muni is the greatest acharya that we have. But in our life also, we will experience this particular aspect when our intention is right. When we are genuinely trying to serve the Lord or His devotees, then it's inconceivable um, or how the mercy appears, or the Guru, Siksha Guru, Diksha Guru, someone will appear somehow and guide us. And many devotees also share, like sometimes Prabhupada would say how he's guided within the heart also. So that's the relationship we develop with the Lord in the heart. So the devotees um, do say that they're guided, like Prabhupada would say that he's guided by the Lord Himself within the heart, and that's how He has written all these beautiful purports. So we can take a lesson or a hint from here that we never need to be morose for anything. So far, our intentions are right, and we are trying to serve the devotees and the parampara, and in the line of acharyas, in the similar how do you say, the similar thought process. We are one in the thought with the Guru and Parampara. Then mercy will appear. The Lord will make some arrangement, some devotee, some friend, some guide, someone will appear, and then they will tell us. I think the key aspect is definitely when we take Diksha and we are in the disciplic succession, um, it becomes important that we serve the parampara in whatever little way that we can do. And we have so many inspirations within our own temple, and in London temple, so many festivals, we connect with so many other places. that so many devotees are able to do wonderful, wonderful achievements because the mercy is flowing of, for their heart is pure and the intentions are correct. So, so we have in the same way, we'll discuss a little bit about these aspects of the the importance of guru. What is the importance of a spiritual master in life? So we have Guru Ashtakam prayers that we recite every day. So the last two prayers are, obviously the whole Ashtakam is powerful, but relevant, particularly relevant for the conversation today, is Saksha Dharitvena Samasta Sastre Uktastatha Bhavyateva Sadhi Kinto Prabhorya Priyeva Tasya Vande Guru Sri Charanaravindam. We sing like Saksha Dharitvena Samasta Sastre Uktastatha Bhavyateva Sadhi Kinto Prabhorya Priyeva Tasya Vande Guru Sri Charanaravindam. So, what that means, Sakshat Dharitva, Hari, because the D and D is joining us, making Dharitva. Sakshat Dharitva, Samasta. The spiritual master is honored as much as the spiritual Lord because he is the most confidential servitor of the Lord. This is acknowledged in all revealed scriptures and is followed by all authorities. So all the scriptures, all the authorities say the same thing. The spiritual master is to be honored as much as Supreme Lord. He is not the Lord himself, but he's like, he's respected like the Supreme Lord himself. And the next was Yasya Prasadad Bhagavat Prasado Yasya Prasadam Nagati Gotopi Dhyanstuvam Stasya Yasasatri Sandhyam Vande Guru Sri Charanarvindam. The Yasha Prasada, Bhagavad Prasada, by his mercy or by satisfying or fulfilling the desire of our spiritual master, we fulfill the desire of the Lord Himself, and we by satisfaction of our spiritual master, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself, Krishna Himself, gets satisfied with us. And Yasha Aprasadam, the second line, Yasha Aprasadam Nagati Katoti. It means if we're not able to satisfy our spiritual master, then it is very difficult to get the mercy of Krishna. So it becomes a prime importance for a disciple to be able to satisfy a spiritual master. Like without spiritual master, there is no gati. Brahmanda Brahmite Kona Bhagyavan Jeev Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata. This is very often quoted by Srila Prabhupada and the Guru Granths. So Brahmanda Brahmite, so all over the universe or many universes, Kona Bhagyavanji. Bhagyavan is like some, fortunate soul. When he gets the Guru Krishna Prasad, when he gets the mercy of the spiritual master and Krishna, then he gets the Bhakti Lata Bij. So only by the mercy of Krishna and spiritual master, we can get that bija. Bhakti Lata is like a creeper. The creeper is like we're dependent on the parampara. So we get the seed of the creeper of devotional service. So this number of places, and this is again and again is repeated by all the spiritual masters, and Krishna himself has established this in Bhagavad Gita. Yeah, Imam Vivasvate Yogam Proptavan Aham Admuyam Vivaswan Manave Praha Munir Ikshavako Bhavait. So he said to, Krishna gave this knowledge to Vivaswan, and Vivaswan passed it all to Manu, and Manu then passed it on to his son Ikshavaku, like that. Evam parampara praptam, imam rajasyo vidu, sa kalena mahata yogo nashta parampara. So the knowledge was transferred in parampara. So, disciple to disciple to disciple. And over a period of time, it was lost. So Krishna passed that same knowledge to Arjun, because again the quality was Bhakto Sime Sakha Cheti Rahasyam Hetu. So in the next verse, Bhakto Sime, so Krishna defines the quality why Krishna is giving that same knowledge to Arjun, because he's the devotee and he's also a friend. So he has that special relationship, yeah, in addition to being a devotee. So that is very important. Arjun has that, of the five, relationship, five rasas. He is in that rasa of Sakha, and it's like Shantaras and Dasharas, Sakyaras, and there is Vasalya and there is Madhuryaras, of which Arjun was in that rasa. So that is the level that Arjun had, that the knowledge, same knowledge that Lord has given many times. And also like in the first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kaviye Muryanti Surya. Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kaviye. So Adi Kavi is Lord Brahma himself. So Krishna gave that knowledge to Lord Brahma in 4 Chatushloki Bhagavatam that we will get in the second canto, 9th chapter. In the 4 shlokas, Krishna gave that knowledge of Bhagavatam to Brahmaji, and Brahmaji then expanded that to Srila Narad Muni. And Narad Muni, the spiritual master of Vyasadeva, and likewise, and the quality of a disciple, one is, as we said, to be able to receive that mercy, receive that grace. We are devotees, and we have some heart-to-heart relationship with the Lord. Yeah, and also like we are in the mood of serving. Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshandite jnanam jnanena tattva darshana. So Krishna says tad vidhi pranipatena. So how to get that mercy, how to get that knowledge? By serving. Tad vidhi pranipatena. So learning, just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Yeah, so how do we say? Submissively, humbly offering, rendering service to the spiritual master, and then inquiring, pariprashnena, pranipatena, pariprashnena, sevaya, and serving. Then the knowledge can be received. So it is not, a matter of intellectual discussion or some research work or some PhD or this and that. This knowledge is a descending knowledge, avaroha, aroha, like the two ways of receiving knowledge. So our knowledge is always descending. It's not something, it's enough ascending way. In a recent lecture, His Holiness Kadam Kana Maharaj was explaining so nicely that this is how the modern education system is more about, challenging, and this is never accepting the way it is. He spoke so nicely another day. I still remember that. So this is by the service, we get the knowledge. By the mercy, we just listen and we process that knowledge within the heart. Because this knowledge, this dharmam tu sakshat bhagavad pranitam, is all established by the Lord himself. So no one else can create it. So the dharma is created by the Lord. Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavad pranitam is defined by the Lord. And from the Lord, all the parampara starts from the Lord himself. And Lord gives that knowledge to, like we have 4 Vaishnava Sampradayas, likewise. So the knowledge is always coming from the Lord himself to his, the prime devotees or associates. And from there on, the knowledge gets passed to the next, to the next, to the next. And now, we are also either aspiring or we become the disciples, and it becomes, our duty to then also pass that knowledge to whoever we receive, whoever we meet, because Mahaprabhu himself has authorized us to give that knowledge. And then the qualification, is important. We'll continue with the qualification of a disciple. So not only that, he's humbly inquiring, he's submissive, he's a devotee, he has, some heart, some bhava for the Lord. Yashya Deve Parabhakti. Prabhupada quotes this verse a lot. Yashya Deve Parabhakti. Yatha Deve Tatha Guru. Tashyete Katita Artha. Tashyete Katita E Artha. Prakashante Mahatmana. Prakashante Mahatmana means it appears, he's enlightened. Prakash is just enlightened. So one Yasya deve para bhakti yatha deve tatha guru. Someone who has unflinching devotion to the Lord, and as much to the Lord to the same extent to the spiritual master. Yeah, with unflinching devotion for the spiritual master and the spiritual and the Lord, then the knowledge, yeah, yatha deva tatha guru, taschaite kathita hi arthaha. So to him, unto him, all the meanings, all the purpose. Otherwise, it is very difficult to understand the spiritual, all the knowledge or the sometimes the complex sentences is not something anyone can endeavor to learn and then learn quickly and figure it out. You can't figure it out. It has to be just, by the Lord himself, and he enlightens us. How does this go? Like, Dadami buddhi yogam tam ye nama upayanti. So Lord gives that intelligence, yeah, because we are constantly serving and we are discussing the pastimes of the Lord. So with that, and with the no personal motive, not trying to get some, what we call, I remember this as pride, uh, adoration. It's a profit, adoration, distinction. None of those things. So not trying to be to learn knowledge as information. This more for transformation of the heart. Then the Lord helps us in getting this knowledge or the understanding of the knowledge. Like Mahaprabhu's famous pastime of the South Indian devotee in that temple. Well, all he was doing, he was following the instructions of his spiritual master to read Bhagavad Gita every single day. And he was not the best in the Sanskrit language or having the proper understanding. But he was somehow, with his broken words, he was just reciting. But because he was following the instruction of his spiritual master with whatever capacity he had, he could understand the purpose, as Mahaprabhu said to him. Because, so the story, I will just complete the story. So Mahaprabhu asked, so I can see that you're trying to read, but you're struggling. So what is that? Why is that you are shedding tears? And he says that, yeah, so my spiritual master told me to read, so I'm reading every day. But I'm just so moved by this, looking at this scene of the Lord himself is becoming the charioteer, and of his devotee. So just seeing that, I'm getting this emotions of love for the Lord. So Mahaprabhu says that you actually understood the purpose. That's what it actually means, Prakashante Mahatmana. He's the Mahatma who can, Lord enlightens himself directly. And if it is not done that way, we also have stories in Srimad Bhagavatam about, if we come later on, the sixth canto, and when we discuss the Indra's fall down once, when he actually, one time Indra, when he's in his assembly, he's always glorified by the other demigods and the Gandharvas and the Siddhas. Everyone just always glorify Lord Indra when he's in his assembly, and he is the king of the demigods, Indra. And as he was one day in his assembly hearing all the glorifications, he was a little bit puffed up. So he got, like, it's very difficult actually, to be fair. When someone, is my personal experience, when someone actually does glorify us, it is very difficult to remember that this glory actually belongs to the parampara. We often, if we say something nice or we do some nice service or whatever way devotees, praise us, then it's very difficult to remember actually it all belongs to, I have nothing, everything that I've received is really from the parampara, from Srila Prabhupada. There's nothing that we have created our own. It's everything, every word that we have. If we're able to just repeat the word properly without, changing the meaning and the intention, that will be an achievement in myself. But when we're glorified, it becomes difficult, very difficult to contain and must remain humble. So this is the lesson that we get from Bhagavatam. All the pastimes are eventually, as I say, for our own purification. So every pastime that we have, we're not supposed to be then criticizing, oh, look at Indra, how he fell. But actually, this is for us. So our own purification, that it may happen in our life as well. And being glorified, then we kind of forget and start to, undermine the other devotees, or sometimes our own spiritual master. That's heavy. But Indra being the Indra, obviously we can't compare to what his position is and how much power he has, how much glorification he receives. And as he was receiving so much glorification, his own spiritual master Brihaspati arrives in that scene. And then Indra was, he was so lost in that he missed to offer proper respect to his own spiritual master. And Brihaspati, realizing that what is going on with him, he just immediately left the assembly. He disappeared from there. Indra immediately realized, oh, his spiritual master arrived, but he's gone. So it occurred to him. It's just a momentary. Actually, it's amazing how how this girl say pride is always followed by the fall. So it can be a momentary also. With a momentary, pride that comes, and how it can actually take over our mind and our consciousness. That's what happens. So Indra realized within a moment that, oh, I made a big mistake. I made a big offense to my own spiritual master. And he went straight away looking for his spiritual master Brihaspati everywhere. He couldn't find. And it is said in Bhagavatam that that's where the downfall starts, and within no time, Bali Maharaj and all his army took over the position of Indra. They took over the heavenly planets, Krishna's, Indra's abode, Amaravati, and they were not able to do anything. And it is said that also because Bali and all the demons, they became so strong because they were serving and worshipping their own spiritual master Shukracharya. Because of that, they had so much strength. And because Indra just missed once to offer proper respect, it was followed by a big fall. So that establishes, the importance of respect. And for devotees, Mahaprabhu is given Trinadapi Suneshena Taroreva Sahisuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahal. We want to be able to, always remember and chant Lord Hari's name, Kirtaniya Sadhasa, perform Kirtan all the time. The quality that we need to build is, Trinadapi Suneshena. We have to be more humbler than the grass, a straw of grass on the street, and more tolerant than a tree, willing to offer all respect to others and expecting none in return. That person, that devotee is able to chant the names of Lord Hari constantly. So this aspect of respect and the Vaishnava etiquette is also, all the Vaishnava etiquette we learn from the scriptures, we learn from Srimad Bhagavatam, we learn from Chaitanya Charitamrita how devotees behave with each other, or with the spiritual master, or with the higher authorities, demigods, or with their peers and friends. And then we learn this lesson. We also have a Vaishnava etiquette book that is quite handy. Actually, this is amazing. We should all read that. If we don't have it, we should get it. It's as part of mentorship. I think it's already being promoted, and every devotee is reading it. But there are so many finer aspects of Vaishnava etiquette, because for Vaishnavas, the abhushan, the ornaments is the etiquettes. That's what Mahaprabhu has given us. That's how Vaishnava is different to any other, learned spiritualist. So Vaishnava is always very humble. Actually, long ago when I just started my spiritual life, I remember many years ago, decades ago. Um, I was a bit new at the time, and I was taking a flight from Mumbai. I used to live in Mumbai at the time, from Mumbai to Delhi for some business. And then, as I was boarding the plane, what I realized there was this, I know, one very senior sannyasi who was ahead in the queue, and I was like so happy, to see that as someone of his stage is there, and I just, offered obeisance, as I said. It is so wonderful to get darshan of a Vaishnava first thing in the morning. It was like a 6:30 flight in the morning, something like that. And Maharaj, then, somehow we managed to get a seat next to him. And then Maharaj, I did not understand why does it say Maharaj says Vaishnava. I'm not a Vaishnava. It's a very, very high, position to be Vaishnava. I was thinking Maharaj, for, and I just can't understand when you said you're not Vaishnava. Who is Vaishnava? Then I don't know. How do I use this? And then Maharaj explained about, for an hour and a half, the various qualities of Vaishnava. I still remember how grave he was at the time when he was explaining who is a Vaishnava and explaining so many different examples from Chaitanya Charitamrita of Sanatan Goswami, Haridas Thakur, Rupa Goswami, and wonderful devotees. So it's a very high position, and we can see in this verse how Vidhi means Brahma. Yeah, Vidhi, what, like, I said, Vidhi means Brahma. I was like amazed to see how Prabhupada has put this whole together. This is the inner purpose of Srila Prabhupada, the ecstasy of Prabhupada, which is nobody else can translate this like the way Prabhupada has done it. The Vidhi means Brahma. The Vidhi means normally it's like regulations or ways of doing things. That's what Vidhi is. Vidhi what Prabhupada is picking up, like Vidhi means Brahma, the first created living being. He's the original student. Yeah. Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kaviye, Mahyanti Asurya. He learned it from Sri Krishna and taught Narada first. So Narada is the second Acharya in the line of spiritual disciple succession. He is the representative of Brahma, and therefore he is respected exactly like Brahma. Saksha Dharitvena, Samasta Sastra, Uktastatha Bhavyata Eva Sadbhi. And the father of all Vidhi is regulation now in the purport again. Prabhupada says the regulation. Brahma is the father of all regulation because everything is coming from Brahma for the in the material world. And similarly, all other successive disciples in the chain are also equally respected as representatives of the original spiritual master. The original spiritual master is like Brahma, or before that, Lord Himself. So it's 8:45 now. So maybe we can open up for any conversation, any realization, or any correction. Or any questions?
Harekrshn, Shyam, Hari Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisance. It was such an important lesson today that you gave the whole parampara and you recited, and then it was the meaning was translated into English. So all of us, we need to be reminded this, that we are in the parampara system. This is the only Vaishnava philosophy is the only one who we follow the parampara system. We don't make ourselves that I'm the doer. It's all parampara. How it's coming from Lord Brahma and then down to now Vasudeva, which is so you explain so nicely, and you have such a wonderful knowledge of how you put it together. It was a very wonderful lesson. I really appreciate. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mataji, for raising that point. Was very nice. Actually, the access to know the parampara does that, because we are purely, purely dependent on the mercy. That's how the devotees, Vaishnavas are. But the other sampradaya is like, in the sense, not the Vaishnava sampradaya, but outside of Vaishnava sampradaya, like even Shankaracharya's line, It's only, they say it's only until the time a disciple is not realized. He's a disciple. Once he becomes realized, it's the same as the guru. They have, because they think they're same as God, so what to speak of same as guru. So this is a very important differentiation, Mataji. You picked up that we need to remember that that's how we are different. That's how we are special, and that's how we are. That's how the devotees are so much loved by Krishna. In Bhagavatam, we'll have so many pastimes with, Draupadi, Kunti, and Bhishma, and so many examples where actually is bewildering for a normal person or someone who's not able, not in the Vaishnava philosophy to apprehend as to how this particular character in the Bhagavatam is behaving. Why is Draupadi forgiving Ashwatthama when all his 5 children were killed by him? I mean, she had already lost her father, her brother, the whole family was gone in that night. She lost everyone, but she was like forgiving. This is Vaishnava's qualities, very special. And she says actually in that verse, she says that this, in the following verse, he says, please forgive this, please forgive this Brahmana, because he's our spiritual master son. He's our, he's our spiritual master. He was teacher's son. Once a teacher is always the teacher. So how can you forget that? Then she says the next point of, the mother will be childless. But before that, she says, Nitaram Guru. This, he's our, once the Guru is always a Guru, Nitaram Guru. This is the qualities of Vaishnava. Thank you.
Thank you. Also, she didn't want to go through the suffering like she is with her losing her children. She said, I don't want my, Guru's wife, spiritual master's wife, to go through the same what I'm going through. So she, on that ground, she asked everybody to forgive and let him go. So it's only the Vaishnava can do that.
Para Dukha Dukhi, that's the quality of Vaishnava.
Also, you mentioned about our Vaishnava etiquette that Srila Prabhupada has given us. So it's so wonderful that we practice this, and we, in our mentorship, we regularly we learn all the etiquettes. So it's very, very important for us.
Yeah,
really
nice.
And
there are so many videos of Prabhupada is, coming in front of deities, how he's taking Charanamat, how he's offering his obeisances, like Dandavad obeisances, how to offer those pranams. And we can see this, all glorious devotees who have captured all the videos. So we just observe that and see how, how to do this, how Prabhupada is offering obeisances, how he's speaking, and how much humility is, is shown in his speech. Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was really very, very nice. Thank you so much. Harekrshn.
Harekrshn. Wind up. Shailesh Prabhu, any comments? Okay, I think there are no more questions, no more comments, so maybe we can finish the class here. Thank you so much for tolerating me, and have a great Krishna conscious weekend ahead. Srimad Bhagavad Puran ki jai.
Paturba evacha kripa sindura evacha patitanam
Pavanebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo
namo
namo
namaha.
namaha.
Hare Krishna. Very nice class, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Very nice class. Thank you. Thank
Hare
you so much,
Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Thank you,
Thank
Prabhu.
you.
Class, Prabhu.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Wonderful class.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Thank you.